Well, a very good afternoon and a happy Human Rights Day, and what a delight to have you join us on Market View with me, Sifiso Ngumalo. This is our last episode of the week, and as always, we will ask that you stay with us over the next half an hour as we look at some of the developments happening around the nation's economy and how it's going to feed into the overall sustainable economic growth of the country. Today, our business journalists deployed to the ground to track if local businesses are being co-opted in the many exciting developments that are happening around the mining sector. Has the Minerals Management Board put measures in place to ensure that indeed local businesses and the Eswatini at large really benefit from the mining companies from outside Eswatini that have been granted licenses? We will hear from the chairperson of the Minerals Management Board, Prince Kuduza, and then we will expand on that very same story with Nelsiwe and Langamandla, our in-house business journal. We will wrap things up with an analysis of today's financial markets with our economist, Sanele Sibia. But for now, let's start the show with today's business news. Right, for our first story, the Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Manqoba Khumalo, has unpacked what is called the Liquor Act of 2023 and its amendments, and there are stiff fines for those who will defy it. The minister says the law now provides a level playing field for all businesses in the liquor industry.
Liquor Licensing Act has been enacted into law, the amendment bill, and this has been a long process of consultations with all key stakeholders in the liquor industry, as well as our traditional structure. We are introducing stiff penalties, prohibitive penalties. So, for example, if you sell liquor to a minor, the fine is 2,000 emalangeni. If you sell liquor or you buy liquor on behalf of a minor and we can prove that, the fine is 2,000 emalangeni. If you have a liquor license and then you lease it out or you rent it out, the fine is 10,000 emalangeni. If we find you operating a liquor outlet without a license, the fine is 10,000 emalangeni. Or if we find you operating outside the dictates of your license, that license will be revoked, and the fine again will be 10,000 emalangeni. So this will make it quite difficult for people to break the law, and this act then helps us with that. It also introduces a new thing in Eswatini. This act now says it is illegal to drink liquor in public. So you need to drink either in the comfort of your home or a private residence, or in that place where you are buying the liquor, if it is a bar or a restaurant. Otherwise, you can't be seen drinking liquor in public. This is a new requirement that the law imposes, and it will be 1,000 emalangeni for individuals that are found violating this. The other improvement that we see that this particular law brings is the fact that if a community is unhappy with the outlet because they are noisy or they're operating past their legal hours or they're doing anything that they shouldn't, if 10 people in that community, around the area where that facility or outlet exists, decide to write a petition to the ministry and petition this particular outlet, then the ministry, through the liquor board, will do an investigation, and if found to be true, then that license will be revoked.
Eswatini still imports 97% of beans, and this has concerned the Ministry of Agriculture, which is calling upon local businesses to seize the opportunity. Now, the Principal Secretary in the Ministry, Sydney Simelane, said as today is the United Nations World Pulses Day, and the Ministry will be sensitizing Eswatini on the need to increase the production of pulses, especially beans.
We speak right now, we are importing about 97% of beans in the country. If you notice, you will see that in the subsidy programs, we have three crops. The first one being maize, and then the second one being beans. Now, that tells you that there is a dire need of beans in the country. Basically, it means that we are importing all our beans from other countries. This is an opportunity now for farmers to take advantage of this situation. If I may say, 1 ton of beans costs 22,000 emalangeni. So this is definitely a business opportunity for our farmers in the country to produce the beans locally. So if you look at that situation, you realize that the ministry has to decide and do corrective measures. Meat has become extremely expensive, and yet we need to eat a balanced diet. So basically, we want to try and encourage the farmers that this is a good substitute for proteins for our communities and citizens in the country. In the past, beans have always been cheaper than meat. But as we speak right now, beans are very, very expensive, so they are really not affordable. So what we've decided to do is to encourage the nation, and in particular the farmers, to grow these beans so that we can be self-sufficient in the country.
Right, that's it for our news segment. Let's go for a net break. We connect with Nelsiwe and Langamanda. We look at the developments happening around the mining sector.
Renewal of TV licenses for 2024 is now open. Here is a quick reminder. A viewer's TV license costs 180 emalangeni per device. Other accessories such as decoders and set-top box cost 50 emalangeni per device. For traders and repairers, TV license costs 300 emalangeni per business area. And now, to pay your TV license, use these following methods. You can use MTN Mobile Money with the number 762222000 or dial *007 *3 *7#, or you can use Eswatini Imali. And you can pay our TV license at any post office in the country. Another option is you can use any NetBank branch using our TV license account number 119900430037. Don't forget, when paying for your viewer's TV license, reference with your PIN at all times. And when paying for a retailer TV license, reference with your TIN at all times. For more information, call us on 7802-4543 or 34050163 or 34020879. And you can send us a WhatsApp message on 762222000.
Welcome back. The Minerals Management Board says it has taken the necessary measures to ensure that local businesses and the Eswatini at large benefit from the mining companies from outside Eswatini that have been granted licenses. Now, the chairperson of the Minerals Management Board, Prince Kuduza, said this when explaining what the board is doing to support local businesses as the mining sector is growing in the country.
As the mining industry digs its way into greatness, the country's authorities have emphasized the importance of the companies granted licenses to uplift eMaswati and the communities where the projects will be taking place. We have asked the chairperson of the Minerals Management Board, Prince Kuduza, on what the board is doing to ensure this, and he says all precaution has been taken to ensure eMaswati are part of the industry.
Logo lamdung ntonda tingabekelwane letila kule license makayisayina lo ekunene ngathi sewuyosebenta ukuthi uyosebenta nemaswati. Sibheke ukuthi lengeke kwendiwe ngemaswati ngikona tahamba yokufunela ngaphandle. Lokhona singendiwa ngemaswati kufanele sikwendiwe ngemaswati. Uma emaswati judge bekunene siyafika lapha sikhanza abantu bangaphandle kweluthaka babhuqa luthaka. Sikhanza abantu beluthaka babhizi ngema-trucks abo bathutha abenta konke lo. Akukho kule license la isayinela lo ekunene. Ngoba wasayinela ukuthi emaswati kutafuna ukuthi awuthole wonke umsebenzi lo wendeka kangwane. Lonke elihlobo lwawo futhi umsebenzi. Likhona lisasasa bekunene bantu emaswati kanye nalabo buya ngaphandle ba-apply for ma-licenses. Kwekuthi bafuna kuyohlola ngoba imvamisa uqala ngalokuhlola le kubita imali nanako hayi kancane. Ngila ukhaza ukuthi emaswati abese kuba ngcono ukuthi athole bakubita ama-strategic partners. Le bathi abese bangena nawo basebenta nawo-ke.
The chairperson also says part of the agreement is that eMaswati and local companies will be involved as the companies do the mining. He further says any company that would not follow this would be going against their contractual obligations. For Market View, Nelson Langamandla with Vumi Nkosi Nzinisa, Mbabane.
And indeed, we have been assured that local businesses will not be left out in these developments. So let's welcome Nilsiwe. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Really always happy to have you on the program. You know, I really enjoy the insights that you provide as we look at these developments. This one in particular, I'm really excited about because, you know, you look at our country's GDP and you hear the focus now on the mining sector to really improve our economy. But maybe, you know, before we get into the story in particular, how much has the mining sector been contributing to the economy?
Ngiyabonga Sifiso ngivusele nembukele ekhaya. I-mining sector besikhuluma nendvuna yaka Commerce Industry and Trade evikini leliphelile ichazile ukuthi i-mining sector i-sector lebeyinga contribute kakhulu to the country's GDP ngoba yona beyifaka about 1% to the country's GDP kanti enyalo seyiyabonakala ukuthi it's an emerging sector and government is putting all efforts kule sector lena njengoba indvuna ichazile ukuthi they are hoping ukuthi in the next 5 to 10 years they are hoping ukuthi kumbe mining sector itabe seyifaka la kubo 20% emnothweni welive leSwatini.
You speak of the mining sector being an emerging, you know, sector and industry. Care to highlight some of these developments happening in the country currently?
We have seen Michael Lee Enterprises kulama license lawa la grantwa ngiyo mining management board.
Yeah.
Sabona indvuna ishito evikini leliphelile ukuthi Maloma is expanding. These are some of the developments kule sector lena. We are seeing ukuthi walgolide seltaw exportwa siyabona ukuthi le green chat itawupolishwa la kangwane itawukhathwa iphindze ipolishwe la kangwane iron ore itaw exportwa nasibuka kahle bekulahle kuphela lebesiliphusha kakhulu ukuthi mhlambe silimixe emaveni la ngaphandle. So we are really seeing ema developments and emaswati ayatawucashwa nje ngiyabona lapha ku Michael Lee Enterprises ngathi kuthenjiswa abo 3,500 jobs and the investments Sifiso nembukele ekhaya singakhohlwa ukuthi eslama mines eta lapha eveni kuba khona nalokuthi phela lemigwaco leya khona lena iyalungiswa. Michael Lee Enterprises nje nokhulume ngekuthi la migwacweni invest abo 7 million sathenga ema trucks abo 6 million. So you can really see ukuthi vele le development itawuba khona and lukhule lo hlangothi lo.
Michael Lee Enterprise being a foreign enterprise,
Yes,
correct? Yes, but really interested because I know ukuthi emaswati asibukela njalo athi buta ukuthi nami ngiliswati I have a big interest, you know, to get into the mining industry. What are some of the stages that I need to get, you know, to go through in acquiring a license? Prince Kutuza answered Nelsie on that question.
Uyafika nebekunene ngoba imvamisa utaso wathi lokusufuna kugubha yini. Ne baka mining bengicela kuyohlola bekunene ukuthi ingabe lilahle ngalithola yini esalije. Sithi ke sina hambe ukhulumisana nabase geology. I-geological department inale information yonke ukuthi la kuhlolwe khona eveni kwahlolwa kwabangakanani. Uma ufika egeology ngila ufike nifike nibukisane kwekuthi cha siyabona la kwahlolwa khona bathi balithole lapha. Ngako ke asengimane ngihambe ngiyocela imvume ke yohlola. Utakithi so ukhulumisene negeology utakithi utocela ukuthi ngicela ukuthi ngiyohlola indzawo lengaka. Lendzawo ikuphi nebantu bangaye bakhona cishe bangakanani khashane kangakanani kumbe nelidolobha nemigwaco netinto tekuthutha nako konke lokho ukuthi lolo hlolo lolo solwendile. So utoqela ke nyalo ukuthi ngicela ukuthi niyongicelela enkosini bekunene ukuthi mane ngiyohlwaya ngibuke ukuthi lilahle njengoba ngathi likhona lapha likhona kangakanani. Iquality yalo ithini. Siyakucelela ke enkosini ekubeni sesikubonile ukuthi nempela unayo icapacity ekwenda lento losufuna kuyenda. Nemali ikhona ekwenda lokho. Expertise ikhona ekwenda lokho. Bese ke siyahamba siyakucelela enkosini ukuthi usacela ukuhlola ngapha so and so. Unebantu babonakala ngasi bayakhona vele kusebenza. Mayibusisa ke inkosi siyakunika nako soyakuba environment. Bacetha baka environment. Imvame ngikhohlwa kusho ukuthi sikunika umnyaka ukuhlwaya. Wehluleka eminyakeni shoko ukuthi ngaphandle makutaba nezizathu letiphathekako ukuthi ngicela extension bekunene lengaka sengisebenzile ngoba nakhona while usebenza umele usinikete ama report ama quarterly reports ukuthi nyalo sengihambe kangaka onyalo ngikhanza kuthi nyalo makuhambe kahle ke so ikweleke yonke information one data yonke ukuthi cha ngiyalithola lahle bekunene lingaka lelahleleli mangibuka ngaligubha eminyaka 10 noma ngamashumi lamabili eminyaka ngiligubha one quality yayo unansi likhashane kangaka ngaphansi kwemhlabathi mangilifuna nama sengifuna kusebenza ngicazi ngidawusebenzisa lophi ihlobo legubha lelo lahla. Le information so ilethe ebandleni wena. Libandla liyabuka ke liyabuka cha le ndoda ngathi laba bekunene icapacity khona laba bekunene ngathi bathembisa bakwenda lokho. Kuye kube kuhle kakhulu uma ngabe nita nebantu lebanema past experiences kubonakele ukuthi labe basebenza khona idolo basebendile bekwendeka inanani. Kwesinye isikhathi siye sihambe siyohlola nakhona la okwasebenza khona. Sibone cha ungathi uyawathi lo msebenzi. Ngilapho ke sihamba sifike sibike cha senetisekile ukuthi labe kunene ngathi bangayithola ilicense.
Prince Kutuza, on some of the stages that you go through in acquiring a license to mine in Eswatini, what is government doing outside of that, Nelsie, where, sporting some of these lands where, people can be sure that this is where I can mine?
Lo kunye la kwenda kohulumende siyathi ukuthi ngeminyaka wanga 2021 kube na geoscience mapping project lapho khona bekunendiza nje lebeyibuka ima minerals la even lapho khona ikhanzile ukuthi bakhona bo gold bo iron ore. So hulumende nyalo ungenele i second phase of that ngoba yona bekayenda nga 2021 kahoho na kamanzini but nyalo sotawuya eshiselweni naselibonjeni nakhona afika buke ukuthi engabe kunani la yonke loyo yimitamo yakhe uhulumende yekubuka ukuthi engabe yini lekangayengeta kulolhlangothi nakuto tonke letifundza deliver. Hulumende is hoping ukuthi by mid this year utabe sekayicetsile the second phase.
Nelly, thank you so much for joining us. We have to go for a quick ad break. We connect with Sanele Sbiya, our economist, after the break.
Be sure to catch Business Watch every Wednesday between 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., where we feature the latest updates on business news, market trends, and exclusive interviews with industry leaders, as well as insights on emerging small and medium enterprises in the commercial sector. Business Watch, your business leader.
Ujala masoda mahle kunathi lesa.
sabatandi ukuthi njengalokhu
Sifile sive sikhulume.
Welcome back to the program. We connect now virtually with Sanele Sibia. He is our in-house economist. We want to look at today's financial markets. Engabe lilangeni lethu limenjani uma liqhathaniswa nalamanye ama-currencies la major lakhona emhlabeni. Look at commodities and look at equities. Engabe vele sonke simo nje sime kanjani etimalini. We connect with Mr. Sibia through a virtual link. Mr. Sibia, welcome to the program. Nalomuhla, it's our last program of the week. It's very sad for our avid viewers, but maybe you want to start by addressing us as to this announcement that Europe stocks have gained the FTSE 100 up by 1.5% after the Bank of England holds rates.
Yes, I mean, those are just news in Mr. Ngumalo ukuthi i-Bank of England ikhona icetha nje nyalo announce rates ayo ukuthi iyawaholda, and lokho sikubona kwenteka against the backdrop yokuthi inflation khona eLondon yehlile to 2-year lows nyalo, it's right about at 3.4% from 4% last month. So that now sends beautiful news to the market ukuthi cha le normalization drive lena seyitawuphela sesitawucala sibone interest rates ehla globally. So ngiko lokho lokwenda ngazuthi market
Quite interesting, and we are looking at some of the European markets numbers on screen right now. We do see the FTSE 100 and the DIX, called the DAX, and the CAC 400 index. It's quite interesting what these numbers are showing us. But also I want us to look at the top US markets today, trading higher, the Dow Jones Industrial Average. What is really informing that?
Lapho siyabona nakhona noma lokho ukuthi itolo beyimithile iFederal Reserve Bank nakhona they held interest rates aba constant abakabanyusi from what they were looking at. Kodwa ke lesikubonile kuqhamuka kakhulu, which is what now drives the market, where the sentiments coming from the Federal Reserve Bank ukuthi bayathembisa ukuthi nababuka lendlela inombolo ethamba ngayo lama interest rates, so bayathembisa lokuthi batawakhatha mhlambe kathathu kulona mnyaka, kodwa kusesengabe kunyalo, but vele imakethe betibhekile ukuthi ngeke kube kunyalo, but it was more the sentiment where the market is going to go in the next 3 months, within this year. So right now it seems kude lokushintshile ngokungazi ukuthi nakhona America siyabona ukuthi tinkunzi setiyabuyela khona emasimini, so we are seeing some steam, some sort of a bullish market coming into play.
Right, and of course the S&P 500, the Nasdaq 100 and the Dow Jones, they are all trading higher as a result. Is that correct?
Yeah, with very market gains. We've not seen Donati gain points langa, because now Dow Jones, it has gained 400 points, which is a good 1% up. Same thing, the Nasdaq now gaining a good 200 points, which now gives us a 1.25% change. And then now we are on S&P 500 now has gained marginally around 44 points. So that's movements we are all able to see at present.
Maybe then how does that affect the market performances around commodities? Brent crude oil on the red today, but gold on the green?
Yes. So what we are seeing there is uma ubuka i-Brent crude oil yethu ibuya lapha ku-86 kulamalanga lengcile, but seyinako lokubuya phansi ke nyalo sekubo-85. We are hoping that it's going to come even further down. So loko ku-driver kuyona letindzaba letinhle in the market, but while at the same time those beautiful news are driving the market kutsi ingaba good, sibona ukuthi loko might have a negative impact on the market of oil, ngalokuthi oil ivele imarket is also zama loku catch up with ema demands coming through. So now with a stronger economy, we are seeing there might be a slight change in the price of oil. Ngikho singayiboni la yalo solo ibiya ngaphansi kwalo 80, because the market is really bracing itself for a situation of a steam up in terms of demand. Same thing we are seeing gold nakhona marginally gaining. Yes, that was expected considering the interest rate ayikehli. So people are still hedging, but we are not seeing much of a movement because we know that eventually we are going to have to come back to equities where we are now trading more and trading more on Wall Street compared to trading in the commodities market.
And perhaps how does this, all of it, everything that you've just explained, affect Forex of the day?
Forex of the day, we can see marginally the rand is holding laphayana kulo 18 region. We're not coming back to the 19 region, and we can see same thing with the euro. We are holding marginally on the 20 rand on the 20 region, and then against the Japanese yen, we lost a bit of ground. We are right now at around we gained a bit, so we are now at the 8 regions, so we moved from a 7 region to a little. So that is now driven by increases in the markets. Now the trade in the US is now improving, so that means we are having more currency going into the US compared to more currency coming up into South Africa. But logo compensated and now the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Kwekuthi nato tiveta tiyatshengisa ukuthi imakethe iyangena khona emahlathini tinkomo tiyangena tiyawudla. So lokho kusho ukuthi when we are seeing those movements globally kuba nale effect ukuthi kuya offsetana ngalokuthi net market la South Africa nato tivuke tinglet ijabulile namhla. That is why we are not seeing much losses as we would have hoped, as we would have seen if we were lama movements that are showing up the markets.
Perhaps Mr. Sbi, I'm looking at the time. Emma Stock Exchange. Let's start in Johannesburg.
No, at Johannesburg nakhona siyabona gaining about 500 points namuhla. Nakhona rallying to the news of Federal Reserve Bank ayikayehlisi interest rate, but still the sentiments are there ukuthi tawukwehla. So lokho kwenda ukuthi market globally sale position for lokho kungukuthi kutawuqala kwehle lama interest rates, because we know ukuthi once yehlisi Federal Reserve Bank, it will be a signal to quite a number of banks across the world to start cutting the interest rates. So what we are seeing as well here is even though inflation yenyukile la South Africa now much, but still we haven't reached the 6%. So the market tiyakubamba lo tiyaprice and tiyabuka embili ukuthi cha tingeke tehla ke engeke senyuka kakhulu ama interest rate, because we are still within a comfortable zone.
The Nikkei index is trading higher in the Asian Stock Exchange today, but not so much the Hang Seng index. How do we, make sense of everything that is going in the Asian stock market today?
Yeah, no, ubuka iNikkei ubuka Japan no tinkunzi tiyadla impela ngalokho ukuthi iJapan just a few days ago iphumile from a negative interest rate territory. Lokusho ukuthi na ubuka eJapan ubuka leti market ubuka leti inkampani leti trade khona tikhomba ukuthi kunala optimism. So Japan actually operates on a micro type of level analysis compared to the global market. So ngiko iNikkei siyibona ngazuthi igabuzela kangaka because sibonile employees athole a big pay rise, and now the markets are coming back into favorable lending regions. So that is why we are seeing this bullish market coming into play now buka eJapan. But now to we are mainland China, you are looking at Hong Kong and Hang Seng, you will see that what we are feeling is the effect of the TikTok bet, and we have China now wants to take technology route to grow their economy. So now with what is happening in the US, we are hoping that China will have to now rethink and strategize. But in the background of a communist party that has not come out to say clearly, but how are they going to show up there? That is why we are seeing those markets not moving in the same direction with the rest of Asia.
Yeah, the TikTok drama is quite interesting. But thank you so much, Mr. Sbi. I've come to the end of our program of today. Thank you so much for being with us for the rest of the week. Go Market View.